I was a special agent who was affiliated with North Korea. I barely escaped with my life. Part 1. A man in dark sunglasses, wearing an expensive black suit and carrying a fine Italian suitcase, strode purposefully towards me. I could smell the Givenchy cologne radiating off of him before he even reached me. The sun stood directly in my eyes as I stared at him, wondering where this would lead. "Hello, soldier," he said, shaking my hand with an iron grip. I saw his freshly cut hair and a slight bulge under his shoulder where he kept his pistol. The thought came rushing into my head. Forbidden. Looks like a Fed. "Good afternoon, sir," I said, saluting him briskly. He shooed away this gesture. "You don't need that," he said. "In fact, you may have done saluting and polishing boots forever, soldier. I have a potential job offer for you if we could speak in private." "What's your name?" I asked. "Agent Roger," he said, "and I already know yours. Sergeant Todd's." I looked into his mirrored shades, wondering what hid behind them. "I have a job for you, a real, God-honest career. You could be done with the maritals today if you wanted." He looked over to the admission building, the clear glass doors opening and closing as people came and went. He looked back at me, putting his hand on my shoulder in a fatherly way. "So, will you listen?" "Yes, sir," I said, and we walked into the admission building. The blast of cold air conditioning, feeling like a drink of water after wandering around the desert all day. He found a small, unused conference room and motioned me inside, closing the door behind us. I sat down in the small, poorly padded chair on one side of the wooden desk, and he took the larger leather one across from me. From my vantage point, I could see outside. Marcus passed by and forth. Marines passed back and forth on their way to whatever duties they had that they needed to carry out, and supporting personnel came and went with admission building and medical ward across the street. They reminded me of ants constantly rushing towards the good of their hive. And from far away, the lines of soldiers even looked like ants. "So, Agent Roger," slowly began Sergeant Gentle Thomas, "we finally meet," he said my name slowly, as if tasting its syllables, pondering what it could mean. "You certainly are an adaptable soldier. You graduated in top 5% of your class from boot camp, and your IQ test shows you are in the top 1% of the American population. You have a bachelor's degree from UConn and also graduated from the top of your class there. Moreover, you have joint South Korea and America citizenship." I nodded at this, unsurprised. This was a man who did his research. "You speak fluent Korean?" "Yes," I said, nodding. "I speak Korean and English. I grew up in both of them." "Great," he said, clapping his hands together excitedly. "You're exactly what we need. I'm recruiting for the CAI, and we need someone experienced and competent, someone who speaks the language and understands the culture. Would this mission fit you, soldier? What do you think?" I Don't know, I said truthfully. It felt like this entire encounter had come out of nowhere. It had an unreal quality to it. I couldn't believe the CIA would actually have interest in me. You won't be alone, he said quickly. You have another, more experienced agent who already will accompany you. I just stayed silent. He pulled out a contract showing me a paragraph marked out with a handwritten star. This is one-time offer, Sergeant Tallus. Either you sign it now, or you will never see us again. He pointed at the marked paragraph. I grabbed the contract, spinning it around and quickly reading it. The selection he had marked discussed compensation, $70,000 a year, plus hazard pay, and well as potential bonus for dangerous assignments. This was far more than my salary as a sergeant for the Marines, which was laughably small. Okay, fine, I'm in, I said, smiling slightly. I shakily rose from my seat, and he did the same. Extending his hand, we shook, and suddenly the future seemed bright, exciting, even limitless. I had 18 months of training after that, and then assumed the title of Agent Thomas, and operated officer for the quote-unquote company, end of quotes. My new partner, a gruff man with a thick southern accent, didn't speak much or reveal anything about his past. For my first assignment, I was told to go to a small office on the topmost floor of the building. I walked in, seeing a man standing there next to the desk, a file in hand. I looked him up and down, seeing a muscular gym rat with blue eyes, a tanned complexion, and a very dark hair. He didn't smile. His stony face just observed seamlessly, looking everywhere. In his black suit, standing 6'3", he made an imposing figure. I'm Agent Todd, sir, I said, stepping forward to shake his hand. He quickly looked away, pretending not to notice, and I put it down. Yeah, I know who you are, he said. Cut the sir crap. My name is Agent Hudson, or Mark, since we probably will be killing people together. I assume we should start on a first-name basis, right, Gento? A slight smile came across his lips, a smile that didn't reach his cold eyes. He had the eyes of an executor. A shiver ran down my spine. I felt suddenly glad this man was on my side. This is our first assignment. Should be easy for a young hotshot like you. He pushed the folder into my chest. I grabbed it, and he started walking out the room. Where do we meet? I asked. He didn't even turn his head. 6 a.m. A car will be sent to your apartment. After that, maybe we'll talk in hell. I don't know. He laughed at his own joke, slamming the door behind him. I pulled the rolling chair back from the desk, putting the folder down. First, I went to the break room and made myself a cup of green tea, using a lot of kororo leaves from Japan. Carrying a cup back to the office room, the fragrant steam rising from the cup, I thought all the possibilities in the folder. It could be a mission to go to the rainforest Central America, or the jungle in Cambodia, or the vast forest of Siberia. I opened the first page, my heart beating fast in my chest. I read through the primary report quickly, feeling a sense of disappointment. We were going to the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, more commonly known as North Korea. The order said Mark and I would be traveling to a biological and chemical weapon facility near the Chinese border, find out as much information as we could, and travel back to the readiness point. It was short on detail from there, and I figured I'd find out more when the time came. I went back home, eating a big meal and getting some sleep, setting my alarm early so I could shower, shave before the CIA car whisked me away, bringing me to a new and exciting places. I dreamed that night of endless tourists and open oceans and forests filled with wonders.